I hope this video helps. Please check out the playlist, Evidence for Christianity, Evidence for the Bible, End Times, and the Book of Revelation. I'll leave links in the description for all four. Enjoy. Well, it's time to change the oil on my 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid. First thing I need to do is set the parking brake. Hear that engage. And then pop the hood. Alright, so there's a cover underneath that you have to take off. It looks like you got a bolt there, and then there's some bolts missing. Like there should be one right there, I believe. And then the other side doesn't have any because it's about to come off. So I'll get that cover off. Got the good old 10mm for the bolts on the cover. I'll leave an Amazon list link in the description for all the parts that I'm going to be using in this video. I am an Amazon associate, so I do earn from any qualifying purchases when using my link. Yeah, so whoever had to get under here last just left one bolt holding that cover on. So on the front here, it looks like I got two bolts. I got this one, the one down there. I'm going to take off. Alright, got those two bolts out. This should just slide off. Yep. So there were supposed to be several bolts in this, but there was only the two in the front and then one in the back. So here's the oil I'm using. I'm using OW20 fully synthetic oil, and then a 10,000 mile STP filter here. I got my 7-quart catch pan here, and make sure you get something like a cardboard or something else under there, because that stuff will splash out onto the floor. I have a 17mm socket here, and I also have a rubber mallet just in case you need to convince the drain plug to come out. If you want to support my channel, leave a super thanks below, or you can join Robinhood through a link that I'll leave in the description, and we'll both get a free stock, or you can purchase the products through a link in the description. I'll get a little commission. Continue watching. So right there's the oil filter. Right back there in that corner is the oil drain plug. So let's get over there on that. There we go. Now I like to open up the oil cap so that it'll help it drain faster. It is tight. Oh, got it finally. Whew. There we go. Let's go ahead and get the new filter ready. Go ahead and take this plastic cover off if it's got one. And then we'll go pull the old filter off. But before we pull the old filter off, let's go ahead and put some oil in this and put the oil around the ring of the filter, that seal. That just helps it to make a good seal when we put it back on. Now you don't need to fill it up all the way. I just wanted to put maybe half in there. Now with this oil on the outside, I'm just going to dab it and then put it around the seal. I want to wipe the filter off really good because I don't want it to have any oil on the outside. Because we're going to tighten this oil filter up by hand. So wipe your oil drain plug off really good. Make sure that it's free of any debris, and you don't want any sand or anything in the threads of this. So the oil is down to a drip. I'm going to go ahead and put this plug back in. I'm going to go ahead and wipe off the sealing surface where the plug goes in. So I called the dealership just to make sure I had the correct torque spec, and they told me 25 foot-pounds. Alright, it clicked. We're good. Okay, here's the oil filter. Should be able to just take it off by hand. Sometimes you may need an oil filter wrench of some kind. You can buy some that fit this specific size, or you can buy a belt wrench. But this one came off by hand. So you want to get a good look at the sealing surface. Make sure that the oil filter seal did not stick on the on this housing here, and then go ahead and wipe off the extra oil and dirt from around the sealing surface here for the oil filter. And this is actually very nice that no oil actually dripped out. I mean, I've never done an oil change where no oil came out with the oil filter. And I'm just going to tighten this up by hand. I'm going to get some gloves so I can grip it a little better, because these rubber gloves are a little slippery. And then just give it a good twist. with your hand. Just hand tight, that's all you need. All right, so make sure you use a funnel so you don't go dripping oil all over the place. I got this smaller funnel here because it's kind of a tight area. I was going to use this big one, but it doesn't really get down there. Also want to wipe the old oil off the dipstick. I would say that's pretty close to 4.3, maybe a little less than that, but let's run the engine and see how it looks. So I wiped all the oil off the oil fill cap here, and now go ahead and put that back on before we go running the engine. All right, let's go ahead and start it. So power it on. Still many close hood, but let's see if we can get it to start without it. Go ahead and switch it to charge mode, so pushing it twice. Oh yeah, it's running now. I'm just gonna let it run for just a little bit, and then I'm gonna check the oil level. All right, let's go ahead and check the oil level. So it's on the low end. It's closer to this hole than the full one. So I'm gonna put some more oil in it. So that's how much I put in there. Put closer to probably 4.5 to 4.75 quarts in there. So it's showing up to the second hole on the back side of the dipstick. Now let's just make sure there's no oil leaks. Don't see any oil droplets forming at the bottom of the oil filter. Doesn't look like anything's running down. And then the oil drain plug. Make sure there's no drips there and no oil kind of collecting at the bottom of this. And there's not. It all looks good. Now one of the most important things is making sure that you clean up and dispose of the oil properly. You can take it to AutoZone, O'Reilly's, and they'll dispose of it for you. Or your local landfill, they may have a place for material like this to be disposed of. I'll just be putting the old oil back into the 5-quart jug. We're all done. Now we can release the parking brake. And it's released. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. And if you want to connect with me, I have a public group on MeWe called Share Your Trade. And I have an Instagram. Links are in the description. Thanks for watching.